government. You're not there. You're not a presence. You're not going to be weighing on those decision makers. So the fact that you are, the fact that you're organizing, you can educate your group, and then get them focused on one particular issue, and have them go before a school board, a town board, a legislature, and make a commitment.
And that's what the goal is today. Is to, from now on, be working with you and with you. You're talking about the
Youth cabinet, certainly welcome. I can see Billy outlines some good advice. Obviously, democracy is 50% plus one, but oftentimes the government, on the local minority, moving government, steering policy. It's important to get involved. It's important for government officials to understand, what's important, what does the council look like, what can we do to help shape that, those issues. So having you involved with our decision makers early in the process, I think is going to work well. We'll be able to show accomplishment, and obviously we'll get to study up on issues.
start that right away.
Absolutely.
Well, everyone has task forces, of which there are many. I went through that list. There's a seat at the table for any one of the members of the Young Adult Alliance, so they can, and they do, sit in on task force meetings. So they are very, very well educated about the issues on assignment. And I think that counts a lot. I mean, you're involved with our transportation task force, right? I mean, Fran?
And I'm involved in the housing development.
Right? And so that there are a number of others here in the audience who are already participating in the business community's task forces. And I think that makes a big difference. Are you going to have a similar committee for this to have in the national account?
I think it would be a great idea. Now that we know that there is this entity that is available for staff, we will. And I'll give you another perfect example of why we do it. We really have to start rethinking how we build so that it dovetails with what the younger population needs. It's a changed island than what it was 40 years ago when my family came out here. When if you were a 25-year-old young lady and you weren't married yet, that was unusual. And now, it's more the opposite. So, you had people coming out here for one reason. They wanted a quarter-acre, half-acre plot with the house. They're going to have a lot of kids very early, and then they're going to be driving back to the city. And now you have young people staying single into their 30s. Well, they don't want a 4-bedroom house with a half an acre. They want a different type of lifestyle. They want accessibility to transportation. They want activity. They want fun stuff. They want not just an affordable place to live, but they want things to do. They're still single. They want to meet other people. They want to be able to walk to a bar and get a beer and walk back home. They want to be able to walk and pick up a bagel or go to 2 days dry cleaning. We have to start rethinking the way we're building this island. Not overdeveloping it, not plowing over our open spaces. That's why we want to be here. We love our open spaces and the neat things that make at least Suffolk down in Suffolk. We still have a lot more open spaces than NASA distance. They're pretty much developed. But you can still develop those areas in a new, different way that comports to the newer needs of our younger generation. And you guys are going to be leading that charge.
So how do you strike that balance between increased density and building housing that is attractive to adults while still maintaining the character of Milltown that makes it attractive to everyone else and that draws someone in the first
Well,
place?
it's a great question. I think that's what we've been doing over the last several years in Suffolk County. I think the county executive and legislature alike, what we've done is end this ridiculous notion that you either have to be an environmentalist or someone who's pro-growth. You can be both. But what you do is you identify those parcels that you consider to be environmentally sensitive and want to preserve. And God knows we spent $333 million preserving these properties. So the investment is there. But then you also have to have a sit down and say, okay, so what are the areas where we can build? In fact, next week we're having that very meeting in my office. It was several years ago. It was back in the 90s when they created the Pine Barrens Act. They actually sat down, put on a conference table an overview map of Long Island, and they drew out the places that they want to preserve. This is environmentally sensitive area. Thank God they had the foresight to do that. So what we want to do now is do that once again, update those environmentally sensitive areas. They'll tell you we're going to do something else. We're also going to say, okay, let's draw a circle around all those areas where we can build. And then let's do it. You know, we have a lot of areas that are pre-developed, such as the Totem State site. Let's redevelop it. You know, the Yaphank site has 27 buildings on it. That's where you build. You have EPCAL up in Riverhead, which is the old Drummond site. You rebuild it. That's what Ed and NASA was trying to do in the hub. So you can both have economic growth, have the housing, have the new complexes that we need for career-oriented jobs, and still preserve your open spaces at the same time. It's not mutually exclusive.
How do you stop the school districts, the school boards, from setting zoning? I mean, it's hard. We hear about schools being closed.
A lot of those processes we spoke about have been stalled. They've been derailed. They don't go anywhere. They get up to a certain part and there's years and years go by. When are we going to see some of this moving along? I mean, I know the planning process is difficult and some may or may not know about how the process works. It's complex. Some people just think it's just not important to put it there or to build. Obviously, we know it is important.
Yeah, are there land use reforms that we can pursue at the state level?
I think clearly the Nassau County is supposed to redevelop. Obviously, we've identified downtown districts that are lighted, downtown districts that are service, transportation hubs, and really bring all the aspects you mentioned, walkability of them. So we have to create an incentive for landlords to enter into the redevelopment process in our downtown district. We have to eliminate the fear that goes along with redevelopment of downtown district. Part of that is the school district's line, because as soon as you increase density, the school districts believe that increases costs, putting more burden on the school districts in terms of more students coming into the school district. So, really, communication, I think that's what needs to be done now, bringing the stakeholders together, showing how we can rebuild our downtown district, add another floor to our downtown, story to our downtown district, and of course, redevelop. Right now, there's not a great incentive. I've spoken to a number of landlords that are in downtowns that have apartment buildings. They have no problem renting. As a matter of fact, they get great rent for these dilapidated apartments. You have to create an incentive for them to restore those apartments, increase density of those apartments. I know the mayor of Farmingdale is here, and he's working on that issue together. So there's a lot that can be done. There's certainly areas in Nassau County that are ripe for it. Push that agenda forward, and hopefully through your involvement in government, we'll be able to bridge that communication gap with our school district and show how it's positive for the community, it's positive for the school district, it's positive for the home values that center around the downtown district. So there's a lot of opportunity there.
We've seen some success stories. We saw it in Patchogue. We saw it in the village of Westbury. But we asked the mayor when he met with us last week of Westbury, what does it take? How did you do it? What was it that made it happen? And it turns out, it points to the issue of the citizens, and it turns out that the common denominator between those two projects was totally blight. The communities had to go so far downhill that the residents said, let's do something to fix it. Are we prepared to sit by and wait for the rest of the downtowns in Long Island to go into a state of total disrepair before we take some action? What do we do?
Well, development is not a bad word. And on Long Island, and Suffolk in particular, at some point over the last couple of decades, the word development became a dirty word. It depends what kind of development and where that development is going to take place. You don't want a blacktop over all of the county, but it's developers who have incentive in our free enterprise system who turn around Patrick, all right, who turned around Bayshore, who will turn around Windage. You have to, as Ed said, you've got to give them an incentive. No one's going to invest their money if they think the government is going to put up so many roadblocks that they're going to be spending all of their time and all their money in court. Well, still, why did Patchogue turn around? Patchogue turned around because we had a mayor who said, I want to get something done. I want to do it. I mean, we had a workforce housing commission. We said, we'll give money to any local entity that comes forward and says, we'll zone. Why did Patchogue get the stuff? Because they came forward. They wanted to do it. They said, we want to do something about it. So we took an area that had like 70% vacancies 5-10 years ago, and it's 90% full now. And it's thriving because we put selected workforce housing in various sites. What happens? Those young people, they hop on the train, they go to work. They come back home, off the train with money in their pocket. They're spending money in the downtown corridor. So now those stores are doing well. That's the kind of transit-oriented development that the Long Island Index is talking about, that we've done in Patchogue, that we've done in Bayshore, that we're talking about in Wyandotte, that we're talking about in Ronkonkoma, by the Ronkonkoma Railroad Station. All of this stuff bodes well for the future if you have the political will on the local level. And you might be right, Shel. It might take us to get to the point of having a crisis before people, the naysayers out there will finally say, all right, let me get out of the way, let me stop demonizing developers and let them do their magic, because if it's done the right way, they can turn around a blighted area and make it into a thriving place for young people.
Let me share a thought with you about two specific areas. We're talking to the folks over at Kimco in relation to Republic Airport Plaza. We believe that the possibility exists for maybe 3,000 or 4,000 apartments there. If the Kimco folks have an appetite to do it, Wayne would be delighted to talk to you about it. And we believe that that will be the lever that is necessary to get the train station reopened, get the money that's necessary to double track from Ronkonkoma in. That is transit-oriented development. You've got a train station sitting right there that can then serve the corridor. On your side of the island, we're looking and having conversations now with the folks over at the Taubman organization, and we're delighted to say that Keith Archer's opening up that dialogue for us, and what we see over at the Cerro Wire property is a possibility to also do high-density residential in a mixed-use environment. We're trying to have a conversation with Supervisor Mendeo about that project. So these are things that we see and close right in hand with what you're talking about. Redevelopment, transit-oriented development, but the schools are still going to tell us there's a problem. And yet we're hearing in the newspaper, we're seeing in the newspapers that the schools are thinking about closing, the school districts are thinking about closing schools. What is it in this equation that I don't quite understand? They think there are too many kids that are going to be brought into the community, but they think you're closing schools. Huh? Something wrong with that math. 1 and 1 doesn't add up to 2. And now, if you want to talk about school districts, let's also talk about something that you guys were bold enough to talk about at the White House conference when we had the press conference. Taxes. Unions. Anybody want to go there? Anybody want to? I mean, I want to tell you, in all the years, wait, you want to go there?
No,
I'll just tell you, when in my very short lived run for governor, one of the great things about it is I had a platform to talk about this stuff, and nobody did. Now you're actually seeing it talked about on the statewide level. Editorial today blew my mind that Newsday is encouraging the state to end the Triborough Amendment. It's something like we in the county have been talking about upon deaf ears for 10 years. What is the Triborough Amendment? It means when in the public sector, a contract has expired, the public sector employees will continue to get step increases along the way, which could be 3 or 4%. So the incentive to negotiate is really not there. They're finally talking about changing that. The pension system, which is simply unsustainable in the public sector and is about to implode, is finally getting the attention it deserves. I mean, to show you how incredible this is, we had a $40 million increase, not bill, the increase alone to Suffolk County government, $40 million last year. It'll be $50 million next year. If your loaf of bread was increasing by that same rate, it would be about a 10